So at least we got everything working right. Okay, see, the Eraser was in Hollywood. Oh, look at that. We're talking about the Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1996. They called it an action film directed by Chuck Russell. I don't know, Kurt Russell. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vanessa Williams, a bunch of others. Don't want to go into them all. So I guess the U.S. Marshals in this movie, so the U.S. Marshals sent their witness into a top secret laboratory to get information on a weapon that wasn't supposed to exist. Basically a scaled down version of the military's railgun. So she says she's not going into witness protection after she gets the discs, 2 discs out of there, gets all the information so they can take down the thing. And on her way out, the CEO, controlling officer of the place, takes his own life. I guess that'd be the way to say it on YouTube. Hopefully they can do that. And then probably get 2 strikes or 3-4 strikes for that one, but it's part of the movie. Just describing the movie. Anyway, so he does that, and, makes a big hole in the window and blows out the window, and it was a pretty good, interesting start. And then when Arnold Schwarzenegger, when the Eraser gets involved, John Clark Kruger gets involved, the Eraser, John there. He ends up going in and getting denied by the girl, and nobody told her what was going on. She walked away, went home, and like thinking everything's gonna be normal. Then she calls a reporter and all that fun stuff, and tells somebody else, and they figure out that she's got another disc. So they sent hitmen over to kill her with this impossible weapon, this handheld railgun with had cords on it. Hollywood's version of a modern day gun. Shoots just projectiles, which I thought was kind of interesting. So he ends up going in with a big bunch of balloons, and I don't want to name it that way. Big bunch of balloons, and they start shooting at him after he gets in the door, and then they hide behind a refrigerator, a couple other things, and they end up getting out of there. Lots of action in this thing, and he gets to he erases a couple other people before all this went down, and transplants them. And you have to give you a setting. This is a really good movie. Lots of action and lots of interest and lots of double crossing and twists and turns, and you should actually go watch this sucker because it's a pretty good movie. So the lady gets taken and put in protective custody. Only Arnold Schwarzenegger knows where she's at. It was Schwarzenegger, and she gets to stay with an old lady or a little Asian lady, and near the New York Zoo, and then all the fun stuff starts. Another agent decides to take out his protectee to get to her because he's on the payroll of the big military complex, and they're selling these guns overseas so they can start a war. So they end up getting him on a plane, going to one of the other guys, the bad guy's witnesses, and she ends up dead. So does one of his employees. Turned out to be a pretty good movie. I liked it. It turned out, I like this type of thing. These kind of action movies. Once they get through with this series, the next series is going to be even more action movies. Since we get through the E's. I got to get through the E's, plus the new movies that I bought. We're going to talk about those too here pretty soon, I hope. I got them on the list. So anyway, the whole thing comes down to a big fight in the New York Zoo. Alligators and all kinds of fun stuff was involved. The U.S. Marshals, and they told John, they even tried to convince the higher ups in the or in the U.S. Marshal Services that John, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, was the bad guy. Sounds like something's going on in the White House right now, but that's just, my opinion. It's funny how movies reflect real life. After they've been made for 20 years or something. But it's funny how they forecast what's going on in the world in the movies, and then all of a sudden it comes for real. They make it happen. I guess that's the way it is. But this turned out to be a good action flick, and I kind of enjoyed it. And I feel like I'm rambling, so let's go to the fun part of this. Warner Brothers Pictures. Warner Brothers was the distributing company on this one. June 11th, 1996 was the date they released it in Hollywood. Then they released it June 21st, 1996 to the rest of the United States. I guess Hollywood had to see if it was any good. The total runtime is 1 hour and 14 minutes. It's a United States English movie. They spent $100 million on it, and at the box office it made $242.3 million. So yeah, this was a real good movie. And what the heck are you talking about? Oh, I don't care. My computer, it took me 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours to get it up and running to do this, and now it wants to tell me all kinds of new things that I've seen on the other computer, so I don't care what this one has to say. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and call this one good, and I'll get out of here, and we'll talk to you with the next one. Bye now.